the STM-2. The purpose of this video is to explain the function and purpose of the STM-2. Now keep in mind, many of the points we're going to mention here also apply to the STM-1, which is an older model and is now obsolete. Now STM-2, what does it stand for? Well, it stands for the System Test Module. It's used to test and verify that the 406 static decay meter is functioning properly, that it's within balance. So each unit of the STM-1 or 2 is stamped with a reading. In this case, you notice it's stamped 0.16 seconds, which means when you go to test this, you put in the system, you run a test either in positive or negative, that's high voltage, you're going to read about 0.16 seconds. Now, the spec says it can be a difference of 0.05 seconds, plus or minus. So, what that means is you have a range, using this STM-2 in particular, of 0.11 seconds all the way up to 0.21 seconds, because it's stamped 0.16, plus or minus 0.05 seconds. Now, the point to keep in mind is this. When you run the test with the STM-2 using positive high voltage, and you compare the readings to running the test with a negative high voltage, there should not be a difference of more than 0.02 seconds. If there is, the 406 static decay meter is out of calibration or out of balance. So, as an example, the reading stamped on this STM-2 is 0.16 seconds. Now, if you were to put this in your unit and run a test using positive high voltage, and say you get a reading of 0.19 seconds, well, that's good. But now you go to run the test using negative high voltage rather, and you get a reading of 0.16 seconds. Well, even though it's stamped 0.16 seconds on the unit, it failed because the difference between the positive reading and the negative reading is more than 0.02 seconds. So the unit would be out of calibration or out of balance. Now, one thing to keep in mind with the STM-2 or even the STM-1, they are not used to calibrate the system. They're only used to test and verify the operation of the static decay meter.